ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्री मेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Namaste once again everyone.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste
Pranam.
Guruji.
Pranam, namaste.
Hari Om Guruji, thank you.
Hari Om, Hari Om. So we will chant the 32nd mantra. Sarganamadhirantascha
Sarvanamandirasya
Madhyam Chaivahamarjuna
Madhyam Chaivahamarjuna
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam
Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam
Vadav Pravadatamaham.
Vadav Pravadatamaham.
So, Bhagavan Krishna continues with the enumeration of the vibhutis of the Lord. And we were seeing this verse 32 towards the end of last class. And here Krishna says, he is the beginning, middle and end of creation, which indicates that he was there before manifestation of creation. He will continue to be there after unmanifestation of the creation also. Essentially, he is pointing out that in his real nature, he is beyond time and space paradigm. And then he said among the various sciences, he is Atma Vidya, self-knowledge. And we discussed some of the reasons why self-knowledge is considered to be the most superior knowledge. And then he says he is constructive discussion among all types of discussions. Aham vadah pravadatam. Because unlike all other types of discussions, which are aimed at winning an argument or a debate, the only purpose of vadaha or samvadaha, which takes place mostly between Guru and Shishya. Of course, it can also take place between competitors like Adi Shankara had with Mandana Mishra. That is also Vadaha only, or Samvada you can call. And these Vadaha, Samvadaha are meant for only arriving at the truth. Because in this, the ego takes a back seat and the intellect is focused on discovering the truth. And therefore, in such a discussion, I enter the discussion with an open mind. I set aside my ego. I am ready to openly accept, not only mentally, but verbally also accept if I am wrong. And I am interested in listening to the other persons completely before I open my mouth. And this difference can very clearly be seen whenever we have got a discussion, which of course starts with the discussions, ends up in an argument. If the other person is patiently listening to what you are saying, waits for you to stop what you are saying, and then only he responds, then you can be sure that he has an open mind, he wants to listen, and if he finds you to be correct, he is prepared to admit that also. But having said that, this is the most difficult thing in any discussion or dialogue, because even as we listen, our mind is itching to talk. We are waiting for the other person to take breath. At that time, you enter and you finish off your arguments. So many times we will see the other person is speaking and you cut in between and then say what you want to say. So in Vadaha, I can relax and listen to the other person. And similarly, the other person also listens before opening his mouth to make his or her point. That is called Vadaha or Samvadaha. And that alone will lead to the discovery of truth. And therefore, Krishna claims that I am Vadaha. So, Jalpa, Vitanda, etc. are there. For each type of discussion, they give a definition. In one type of discussion, I am interested only in establishing my view. I am not interested in listening to the other. In another one, I never establish my view because I don't have one, but my only aim is demolishing the other person's view, whatever it is. And there is only one reason why I want to demolish. And it is that the other person is holding a view not in conformance with my view, and therefore the other person is wrong. Thus, varieties of discussions are there, and for each one, there is a definition, but they are all not relevant here, and therefore we will restrict our understanding to Vadaha or Samvadaha, which Krishna says, I am among all types of discussions. So now moving on. Verse 33. Aksharanamakarosmi.
Aksharanamakarosmi.
Aksharanam akarosmi.
Aksharanamakarosmi.
Aksharanam karosmi.
Dvandha samasikasya cha.
Dvandvasaमाsikasya च
Dvandvasamastikasya cha.
Ahamevakshaya kalaha.
अहमेव
कालः
क्षयकालः
Ahamevaksaya kalaha.
Dataham vishwato mukaha.
दाताहं दाताहं विश्वतो विश्वतो मुखः
Ha.
Okay, so the Anvaya is Asmi Akaraha Aksharanam Cha Dvandvaha Samasikasya Ahamyeva Akshaya Kalaha Aham dhata vishwato mukha. Asmi akara. I am letter A. Aksharanam among the letters. Cha dvandva. I am the dvandva. Samasikascha among the compounds. Compound means not a chemical compound, the compound of words. Aham eva, I alone am. Akshaya kalaha, the eternal time. Aham dhata, I am the dispenser. Vishwato mukha, facing all directions. So I am the letter A among all letters. I am dvandva among compound words. I am the eternal time. I am the dispenser facing all directions. So we have to note, what all things Krishna covers as his glories. He says, even we may not even actually visualize that these are glories, but after Krishna says, we will start realizing, oh, this is the glory of Krishna. He says, among the alphabetical letters, Indian alphabetical letters, I'm not talking about Western, I am letter A. Because in any Indian language, letter A is the first letter. In English language, the alphabets, the sound A does not exist at all. In fact, it starts with what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. The A is not there. There is no A in the list of 26 alphabets. Of course, when you are pronouncing a word, then you may say A. But in the 26 original alphabetical letters, A does not exist at all. Whereas in any Indian language you take, A is the first letter. A, I, I, U. Tamil, Sanskrit, Hindi. I don't know about Bengali and all, but I am sure that in all Indian languages, A is the first letter, primal letter. So it is the most fundamental letter and the most fundamental sound also, A. And why do we say it is the most fundamental sound? Because when you open your mouth and allow the wind to pass out, what will be the sound? What will come? Ah, only. Of course, you must use your throat also, the vocal cords. Then you say ah, ah, ah. So let anyone, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, African, let them do this exercise. Let them open their mouth clearly and allow the sound to come. It will be ah alone. And therefore, it is a universal sound. And that is why, when we take children to the doctor also, and he wants to examine the throat, what he will say, what he will tell the child, say ah. And the child will open the mouth wide and say ah. Therefore, ah is the basic sound, and according to the science of phonetics, all the other letters are modified versions of ah alone. And by changing the position of your mouth, you produce the other sounds. For example, you allow the sound to come and show your teeth. What will happen? E. So it will become E. Same thing, you're just changing the position of the mouth and the sound is coming, the same sound is coming. And that's what, when you go to a dentist and he says, show me your teeth, he will ask you to say E. He will check the teeth. Therefore, you allow the sound and show your teeth. Thus, U, Ka, Ka, any alphabet letter are all modification of A, positioning by Ashtasthanani. That also they have studied, 8 positions are there for the sound to be modified with our mouth, position of the mouth. Like, in the flute, air is blown into the flute and pressing the holes appropriately, one sound is modified as sa, then another re, ga, ma, etc. It is same air, same manner of blowing the air into the flute. And if you don't press any hole, then there will be a general sound emitted through all the holes. But by pressing the holes appropriately, that one sound is modified into various sounds. Similarly, A is the Karana Akshara. All others are Karya Aksharani. So A is the Upadhana Karanam for all alphabetical letters. And this is not, said in this talk. Veda itself says this. The Aitreya Aranyaka says, Akaro vai sarvam vak. The letter A alone is in the form of the alphabetical letters, and the alphabetical letters rearranged alone is all the dictionary words. Therefore, A multiplies into alphabetical letters. Alphabetical letters rearranged are all the words in the dictionary. So for all words, A is the fundamental sound. And therefore, extending, you can say A alone is every word. Akaro vai sarvam vak, it says. And all the words are nothing but the modification of the basic sound. And in our tradition, every alphabetic letter has got a presiding deity. And for the letter A, the Adhisthana Devata is Brahmaji, the creator himself. And why do we have Brahmaji as the presiding deity? Because Brahmaji is the creator of all objects in the world. And A is the cause of all alphabetical letters. And therefore, A stands for Brahmaji. And therefore, Krishna says, Aksharanam Madhye, among the alphabetical letters, I am the alphabet A. Then Krishna says, Samasikasya aham dvandvaha asmi. In Sanskrit grammar especially, we have a very developed, a particular usage called samasa. Sanskrit students will know this. Samasa means formation of compound words by joining simple words. So you take two simple words, join them together by adding a hyphen in between, then it becomes a compound word. And therefore, it is called samasaha. Samyak asyate iti samasaha. That which is properly and beautifully arranged is called samasaha. Of course, in English language also, and even probably in other languages, we have got compound words. But as I said, in Sanskrit grammar, it is very developed usage. And by forming these compound words, the advantage is you save some preposition. For example, suppose you want to say, I have bought the materials for puja. Now, the statement, the materials for puja can be stated as I have bought the puja materials. Puja hyphen materials. Puja materials is a compound word which conveys the same idea. The syntactical between them is through the preposition for. So you save that preposition for by adding a hyphen. Another example is you say, I went to Shiva temple. Shiva temple is also a compound word which conveys that I went to a temple where Lord Shiva is worshipped. So you do not want to say so many words. You just say, I went to Shiva temple. So, like that, we can think of so many examples. Thus, we can form a compound word by joining two simple words and adding a hyphen in between. The hyphen indicates that it is a compound word. And by forming a compound, you swallow the preposition. And by that, you save some time and energy. So, such a compound word is called samasa. See, simple compound words are there which can be understood easily. But sometimes, both forming the compound and splitting the compound words into simple words could be very challenging process. And that is why, in Bhagavad Gita, even in all Upanishads and all, after reading the mantra, first thing every Acharya will teach is the Padacheda. There will be compound words in that sloka or on this mantra. So they have to be separated. Only when you separate the compound words, you will be able to make out the meaning, interpret the meaning of those words rather. So it's a very challenging process. The resolution of a compound word is one of the beautiful exercises we have in Sanskrit grammar. And this compound formation is very systematically done as a science. And in Sanskrit, we have got several compounds. 4 basic compounds are enumerated. And these 4 are later expanded into 7 types of compounds. And these types of compounds are further expanded into 35 types of compounds. Thus, we have got many compounds called samasa or samasa. And these group of compounds are called samasikam. Samasikam means samasanam samuham, the group of compounds. Some of the most basic type of samasas are tatpurusha samasa, bahuvrihi samasa, karmadharaya samasa, dvigu samasa, dvandva samasa, avyayi bhava samasa. So many basic samasas are there. And the beauty is that in Sanskrit, we can form compounds which can contain tens of words joined together. One compound word will have different, when you split it, it will all different samasas, different compound words will emerge. So the process of splitting the compound word will be like you are, peeling an onion. First layer you peel, second layer you peel. Go on peeling. And it's a very beautiful intellectual exercise, and those people who are addicted to Sanskrit love to do such exercises. And in Sanskrit literature, there are texts like Kadambari, etc. A word will start in the beginning of a page and it will go on and on and on, and the word, not a sentence, mind you, only a word, will end at the end of that page. In fact, just to give you an example, Kalidasa writes Shamala Dandakam full of such beautiful compounds. I'll just give you 1 or 2 examples. In fact, it is not possible to say this word in one breath. When I will have to know a little bit, because I am not very much used to chanting Kalidasa's literature. Let me see whether I can actually do it well. ताराकारजिनीकाशहारावलिस्मेर चारुस्तना भोगभारान मध्य न मन्मध्य वल्ली छेद वीची समुद्यत समुल्लास संदर्शिताकार सौंदर्य रत्नाकरे वल्लकी भृत्करे किंकर श्रीकरे. So there is no full stop in this sentence. And this whole thing is one compound word. Can you imagine? We can't say this without taking breath in between. And there are more such words in that composition, this Shamala Dandaka. So like that in Sanskrit, we can have innumerable compounds. And therefore, Krishna does not want to leave it out. One of the most important aspects of Sanskrit grammar. Therefore, he says among compounds, there is a particular type of compound called Dvandva Samasa. I don't want to go into the details of explaining what a Dvandva Samasa, etc. is, because otherwise this will become a grammar class and not a Bhagavad Gita class. So stated briefly, Dvandva is the name of a particular type of samasa compound. And Krishna says, I am Dvandva compound among the compounds. So he has covered Sanskrit grammar. Both alphabet also he has covered, and he has covered samasa also. Then suddenly he jumps. He says, Aham eva akshaya kalaha. I am the Kala Tattvam which puts an end to everything, but which itself does not have an end. And therefore, Akshaya Kalaha means inexhaustible time, eternal time. Because everything else gets exhausted in time, but time continues throughout. In fact, even during Pralaya Kalam, everything is resolved. But Kala is there working potentially. And because of the continuity of Kala alone, the next cycle of Srishti is possible. And therefore Krishna says, I am that Kala Tattvam, which is inexhaustible, Akshaya Kalaha. Basically, he says here, Swarupataya, I am eternal. Understand that I don't have a beginning, I don't have an end. So I am Akshaya Kalaha. Then he says Aham Dhata. So here Dhata means Karma Phala Dhata. The one who gives appropriate result for appropriate action to the appropriate person at the appropriate time. So here Krishna says, you see, I have got a cosmic computer which has got such strong firewalls that no virus can enter it. And that computer has got in records of all the karmas of all the jivas done by the jiva, not only in this birth, but in all earlier births also. And this register, this computer register, not only Manushya jivas, it includes the karma of ant, plant, animals, birds, living beings, devas, asuras, everything I have got, and at the right time, I give the karma phala. Now you will ask, you have already known that all these animals and all, they do not have karma because they don't have free will. True, but their account has to be maintained, because they would have been having a Manushya Janma at some point in time earlier, and they have now become ant or plant or animals or whatever it is because of the papam which they have earned. So they have been demoted from Manushya Yoni to other Stavara Jangama Yonis. So their account also has to be maintained, because the beginning of the ant life and the end of the ant life has to be recorded in the computer, so that at the end of the ant life, next life will have to be, next set of prarabdha karma will mature, and accordingly the karma phalam has to be given. So the computer records all, everything record is maintained. And not only this, devas, asuras, everything has got, because they are also jivas only. And at the right time, I give the karma phalam, and therefore aham karma phala data asmi. And therefore only I am Vishwatomukha. My face is turned in all 10 directions, because I have to see who is doing what karma, who is doing mischief, who is doing adharmic activities, who is doing dharmic activities. Because for maintaining accurate records, I have to observe all the karmas of all the people, register them, give them the result at the appropriate time. And therefore, Vishwatomukha, my face is turned in all directions. There is a mantra in Mahanyasam which conveys the same idea. Vishwatas chakshuruta vishwato mukhi vishwato hasta uta vishwatasyat sambahubhyam namate sampatram trairadhyava prithvi janayan devayeta ekastanme manah shivasangalpamastu. But it has to be chanted in continuously. Again, I don't have practice, so I have.
Rudra Prashna. Rudra Prashna starting. Tanme Shiva Sankalpamastu.
Yeah, Rudra Prashnam, and this is Rudra Prashnam is part
Starting.
of Mahanyasam only, no?
Mahanyasa starting. The
Starting.
prayer.
Yes,
When
yes,
you do the namaskaras.
yes. Yeah, Namaskaram, correct. So Shiva Sankalpamastu, there are many slokas like that. So Vishwatas Chakshuhu, Vishwato Mukha. I see everywhere. And the idea behind is what he is conveying, I am all pervading. As Sakshi, I observe all jivas everywhere, everything, for maintenance of accurate records. And those records never go wrong, because there is no human interference. It's all done by Bhagavan. Okay, so next sloka. Mrityu sarvaharaschaham.
Mrityu Sarvaharasyaham.
Those who have not unmuted, please unmute. Mrityu sarvaharaschaham.
Mrityu Sarvaharasyaham.
Sarvasahcharam
उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम्
उद्भवश्च
Udyavasya
भविष्यताम्
Vishyatam
कीर्तिश्रीवाक्च नारीणाम्
Kirti
कीर्तिश्रीवाक्यनारीणाम्
Naridam
स्मृतिर्मेधा धृतिः क्षमा
स्मृतिर्मेधा
Meda
धृतिर्क्षमा
Shritamam.
सो अयं मृत्युः सर्वहरः च उद्भवः च भविष्यताम् नारीणां कीर्तिः श्रीः वाक् स्मृतिः मेधा धृतिः च क्षमा. I am Mrityuhu, I am the death. Sarvaharascha, the destroyer of everything. Udbhavahacha, I am the source. Bhavishyatam, of future prosperity. Narinam, among the women. Kirtihi, I am fame. Srihi, prosperity. Vak, speech. Smritihi, memory. Medha, intelligence. Dhritihi, fortitude. And Kshama, patience. So I am death, the destroyer of everything. I am the source of future prosperity. Among women, I am fame, prosperity, speech, memory, intelligence, fortitude, and patience. Aham sarvahara mrityu asmi. So he says, I am the greatest dacoit or robber, as it were, who will take everything away from a jiva. Because if a robber comes to our house, he may take only some of the things. But Kala is one which snatches everything from us because we can never carry anything with us at the time of death. And there is a beautiful sloka in Tamil. Of course, I will not recite the sloka because some people are there who will not understand Tamil. But I will explain what that sloka says. It says, all relations will come till you are in your home. The wife will come till the street after death. The son will come till the cremation ground. But there is no one who will come with you till the end. Even in Sanskrit, there is a similar sloka. So one by one you drop, and when you leave this body, you cannot carry anything. The only thing that you carry is a Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira, all your samskaras, your punyam and papam. Other than that, nothing you can carry. And therefore, in your life, what is worth spending time on? It is worth spending time on accumulating good samskaras, accumulating punyam, trying to avoid papam, so that birth after birth we can get a favorable birth, a human birth, a devata birth, even Brahmaji you can become. So everything else, all material possessions, all relations, all friends, everything else is taken away by Mrityuhu. Therefore, Mrityuhu, Yamadharma Raja, is called Sarvaharaha, the one who takes away everything from you. And that is why there is a story which Swami Paramathanandaji narrates. A rich person owned a huge piece of landed property running into miles and miles, and he had no successors. So he called all the people and said that whoever starts running from the morning 6 a.m. and keeps running till the evening 6 p.m., that is from sunrise to sunset, whatever distance he covers, the whole land up to that distance will belong to that person. And that too free of cost. He need not pay anything. So one person took up the challenge and started running at 6 a.m. in the morning and thought that I will run the maximum distance because till sunset, this fellow must have been an Olympic runner or whatever it is. I will run the maximum distance and acquire maximum land. And he ran and ran and ran and covered a lot of miles. Then he saw that the sun was about to set in a few minutes. Of course, he was very tired, exhausted, but he said, still few minutes are there. Why should I lose that? He mustered some more energy and ran as fast as he could. And just as the time the sun was setting, even though his legs were giving away, he was totally out of breath, still ran a few more yards, then he fell down and died. Now, what happens to all the properties he was supposed to acquire by running? And is it not what we all do in our life? We keep running and running the rat race, and eventually, what do we take with us? So, mrityuhu sarvaharaha. Whatever we acquire, Yamadharmaraja takes away at the time of death and gives to other people. In fact, if you do not have any successors, you do not even know to whom it goes. And therefore, Krishna says, I am that destroyer. Samhara Tattvam, I am also. Not only, I am also. Okay. Then Udbhavaha cha Bhavishyata. I am the Udbhavaha, the resource or the source of all future prosperity or future wealth. Because if we have to produce anything in future, they must all be there potentially now. We can never generate anything if that potential is not there. And Krishna says, I am that potential. Therefore, I am the source or the womb of all future prosperity. Bhavishyatam is future tense. Adi Shankara says in his Gita Bhashyam, Bhavi Kalyananam Aham Utpattisthanam. I am the source of all future prosperity and well-being. Kalyananam, well-being. Then the next one, Kirtihi Sri Vak Narinam. So we have got various devatas presiding over various things. And we know Lakshmi Devi presiding over wealth. We have got Saraswati Devi presiding over knowledge. We have got Parvati Devi presiding over Shakti, etc. All of them are female devatas. So here Narinam refers to female devatas. So he says among the female devatas, and these presiding devatas are called Adhisthana devatas. In fact, we have got Adhisthana devata not only for these things, we have got Adhisthana devata for anything in the creation. Because anything in the creation is governed by certain laws of creation. If you take the earth in general, earth itself is governed by so many laws. And because of those laws, earth is going around its own axis. The earth is going around the sun also. And there are so many other, earth is governed by the seasonal changes. So there are so many laws which govern the earth. Similarly, every organ of ours is governed by so many laws. Thunder, lightning, gravitation, tsunami, anything you mention, anything within creation must be governed by inexorable laws of the Lord. And if those laws are functioning, it is only because of the intelligence principle governing those laws. Because any law can function perfectly only when there is a governing principle. And that is why whenever government introduces a law, an officer is required to take care of that. Once there are traffic laws, you require a traffic police, then only the law will be maintained. And therefore, any law can exist only if there is a law governing intelligence principle. And therefore, any object in the creation is governed by laws. And any law is governed by an intelligent principle to preside over every object. So one has to go in two steps. One has to go from object to the object law, and then to the intelligence governing that law. Put both together, we say every object is governed by an Adhisthana Devata. Prithvi has got Bhumi Devata, Jalam has got Jala Devata. Every alphabetic letter has also got a Devata. Every organ in our body has got a Devata. And if you invent a new thing, radio is invented, Radio Devata means what? Radio is functioning because of a certain set of laws. And intelligence governing that is called Devata. And every Devata is an aspect of Ishvara or God only, who is the total intelligence. And therefore we have got Devata for Kirtihi, fame. We say name and fame, That fame is also governed by certain principles. And that deity presiding over the fame principle is called Kirtihi Devata. Similarly, Srihi, prosperity, Srihi Devata. Then Vak Devata. Then Smritihi means memory, is another power or faculty which is governed by again another set of neurological laws. If some of the wires are not properly connected, memory will be gone. And that is why, in old age, we got all this Alzheimer's disease and all that, because the connection which was earlier there between the wires, the neural architecture, some connections have been lost. Amnesia happens. The problem of loss of memory will occur. It seems a patient went to a doctor saying, I've got amnesia. And the doctor said, first you pay my fees, then only I will treat. Because after treatment, you may forget to pay the fees. So, memory power is a very important faculty, which is again governed by the laws in the brain. Then Medha, intelligence principle. Because we don't know why some brains are very intelligent and why some brains are very close to what they call in Tamil, Kaliman, clay. So there again, it is not an accident. There are laws governing that. And that Devata is called Medha Devata. And in Veda, we have got prayers directed at each one. There is a Medha Suktam, a special prayer for Medha Devi, which all students are advised to chant every day. Om Medha Devi Jushamanana Agaat Vishwachi Bhadra Sumanasya Mana Tvaya Jushta Nudamana Dhurukta An Brihadvadema Vidate Suvira Aha. Beautiful mantra, beautiful sukta. Every student should learn it, memorize it, and chant it every day. Not only students, everybody can chant. Because you are praying to the Medha Devi. And what is the prayer? Conclusion prayer. Mayi Medha, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Agnistejo Dadatu, Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Indra Indriyan Dadatu, Mayi Medham, Mayi Prajam, Mayi Suryo Bhrajo Dadatu. Just see, beautiful. What is asking? Give me the brightness of the sun. Means what? Let my brain, my intellect be as bright as the sun. Whatever I see, learn, immediately it catches. So, such prayers are there. Every Devata you will find. In fact, Our Vedas are such vast that everywhere you will, somewhere or the other, every devata, some prayer you will find. Then Dhritihi. Dhritihi means perseverance, fortitude. Willpower is called Dhritihi. It is that faculty of a person by which a person continues the effort even if there is a failure repeatedly. We have seen two stories where this Dhritihi was highlighted. Gangavatarana story and the story of Jahnavi. Despite repeated failures, that capacity, that resilience to get up again after each fall, by which a person continues in spite of repeated failures, is called Dhritihi. And there is a nice Subhashitam. Yata kanduka patena utpatati aryah patannapi tatatva anarya patati mritpinda patanam yatha. Suppose mritpinda means a wet lump of clay. It is dropped down. What happens? It stays there. It will never get up. Whereas a rubber ball falls and bounces back. And how forcibly it comes? As forcibly as it falls, it comes up. Similarly, we have got two types of people. One fails and he renounces. Tyage naike. So this kind of sannyasa becomes a problem sannyasa. Oh, I've got too many difficulties with my life, with my family and all that, Nagging wife, disobedient children. I will take sannyasa. If you take sannyasa, it's a problem sannyasa. You will not only create a problem for yourself, you will create a problem for other sannyasis also. And you will actually, defame the word sannyasa itself. Because he has not developed vairagyam towards all other things. Only vairagyam towards his family and the spouse and children, etc., because of he doesn't like their behavior. Then there is another person, even if he fails, he attempts again and again and again till he succeeds. We have read the story of King Robert Bruce in our school days, isn't it? Who learned this lesson from a spider. He observed in the prison cell. Moral of the story, try and try again till you succeed at last. I remember that story very well. And in the end, what is the moral of the story? Answer, try and try again till you succeed at last. So that capacity to bounce back is called Dhritihi. And there also we have got a Devata called Dhriti Devata. So therefore Krishna says among all the Devatas, Narinam Devatanam Madhye, I am all these Devatas which are noble faculties of the mind. And also Kshama. The word Kshama has several meanings. We can take it as patience, forbearance, capacity to wait, where you have to wait, like in a traffic signal or a long queue in Tirupati Balaji temple. And patience is a very important value. In fact, in Tamil, there is a saying that a person who has got patience will rule the earth. Poruttar Bhumi Alvar. And Krishna says, I am Kshama Devata also. Continuing, 35th shloka. You can all unmute. Brihat Sama Tatha Samnam
Bृहत्सामतथाम्ना
Gayatri Chandasamaham
गायत्री छन्दसामहं
Masanam Margashirshoham
मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम्
Rutunam Kusumakaraha.
ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः
So Anvaya is Tata Brihat Sama Samnam Aham Gayatri Chandasam Aham Margashirsha Masanam Kusumakara Rutunam. You can add Asmi. Tata, moreover. Brihat Sama. I am Brihat Sama. Brihat Sama is a class of Shruti, Veda. I will tell you what it is later. Samnanam, among Sama mantras. Aham Gayatri, I am the Gayatri, Chandasam, among the Vedic meters. Aham Margashirsha, I am known as Margashirsha. Masanam, among the months. Kusumakara, I am the spring, the flowering season. Rutunam, among the seasons. Moreover, I am Brihat Sama among Sama mantras. I am Gayatri among Vedic Vedic meters or Vedic mantras also we can take. I am Margashirsha among the months and I am spring among the seasons. So, Samnam Madhye, among the Sama mantras, all the Sama mantras, there is a mantras, that is the mantras of Sama Veda, Sama mantras. Sama mantra is also a compound word. So, mantras of Sama Veda. So, of and the we omit. Sama mantras. So, there is one mantra known as Brihat Sama. Brihat Sama is the proper name of a Sama mantra. And it is supposed to be a very auspicious mantra which is glorification of the Lord. And the Lord being great, it is called Brihat Sama. It is not that the mantra is big. The mantra is relatively small only 2 or 3 minutes chanting. Even though the mantra is small, it is glorifying the Lord who is the infinite one, and therefore it is called Brihat Sama. Brihat Ishwara Stavana Sama. We have all heard of or even seen Brihadishwara temple, isn't it? Why it is called Brihadishwara? Because Brihat means very big, huge. And since mantra glorifies infinite Lord, it is called Brihat Sama, a very popular one among Samavedas. Samavedis. Those who are Samavedi in this class will probably know more about Brihat Sama, and chanting also they might have learnt. So Krishna says, I am Brihat Sama mantra. Among Sama mantras. Then next one. Aham Gayatri Chandasam. So I am the Gayatri mantra among all the Veda mantras. The word Chandas has got two meanings. One meaning is Vedic meter, that is called Chandas. And Vedic mantra is also called as Chandas. You know what is a Vedic meter? It is the law by which a line of poetry is governed. In poetry writing, there are rules as to how many words can be there in one verse, in one line, how many letters can be there, etc. And that arrangement of the poem is called a meter, chandas. And in Sanskrit, we have got hundreds of meters, anushtup, drishtup. So many are there. In Sandhya Vandanam itself, we take the names of a few of them. Gayatri, Ushnik, Anushtup, Brihati, Drishtup, Jagatya, Chandhamsi. So some of them are even difficult to pronounce. In that meter list also, Gayatri is enumerated first. So thus Gayatri stands for both Vedic meter as well as Vedic mantra, and we can take both the meanings. Okay. More we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Hari Om Guruji, thank you.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Yes, Ramuji, your hands are up.
2-3 points.
Yeah.
That story you told about the running,
Ah,
there is a rider also to that.
what is that?
That means one has to come back.
Oh,
Running,
I say, okay, we have to go and come back. Okay.
so in
Okay.
that, we never have the alam buddhi and we are going, and he fell. The end is the same.
Yeah. Correct. Okay.
Right.
Okay,
Secondly,
I missed that.
that
Okay.
you talked about the Meda Suktam.
Yeah.
Swamiji talks about the Kamalajadaida Sutram.
Yeah.
That's another thing. And that third is that Kanduga.
Kanduka, that Subhashitam.
The Subhashidam and that thing. Swamiji also quote this.
Yeah.
And that he says, and that is to means that also in another aspect it is covered. That means if you make a mistake, you cannot stop it. Like the ball, it falls, and it increases the speed of that fall at every step.
Correct.
So one has to be careful. That aspect is covered from the first line.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
my point.
Okay.
That's
Good.
it.
Thank you. Ramuji is a very well-versed, well-read person. He has been.
Just hearing what I that I kept something in mind, so that it helps.
No. That's because you have got that knowledge. I mean, you recall also. That is really very great. That itself is a great glory of Bhagavan.
Yeah,
That is it.
I am what you call. I am the what you call memory as well as the smell. Apohanam.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only memory; it's the recalling ability also should be there. That is both are important, and you have been doing this for so many years rather. So.
Nearly 50 years.
Great. So your exposure is nothing compared to my exposure to the
No.
scriptures. Rather. So
That's a different aspect.
that's why in many aspects I actually take you as my guru.
No,
I approach you
no,
for.
not that.
That
No.
is,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad. Any other question?
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you very
Namaste.
much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Okay. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
See you next week, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Namaskar.
Namaskaram.
Guruji, reading this chapter is like going through Vishnu Sahasranamam. Vishnu Sahasranamam, how the way the various glories of the Lord are described. This is like Vishnu Sahasranamam.
Vishnu Sahasranam, yeah. 1,000 names are 1,000 glories. Here, of course, Krishna, see, ultimately, whether it is Vishnu Sahasranamam or Bhagavad Gita, all are composed by whom? Vyasacharya only, isn't it? So, same idea he will put in different places, in different I would put it details rather. Vishnu Sahasranam is very detailed. Here, so many details are not there. But he is focusing on those things which normally people will not focus. For example, akara, aksharanam akarosmi. I mean, we will never even think the word a is actually it is a form of Bhagavan, isn't it? So
Yes.
like that, some very subtle things are all brought out in Bhagavad Gita. It will come in Vedas, in Upanishad also, Mundaka Upanishad also later on, I think second Mundaka, second chapter or something, it will come. Again, this vibhutis will be talked about there also, rather. So
Yes.
everywhere it comes, these vibhutis, because we have to understand only basic idea what everything is Bhagavan. If you have
Yes.
got that, so anything that you experience, anything that you see, if you take it, oh, this is Ishvara Swarupam, then your life is very simple. Yeah. Okay.
Just out of interest, two other languages also where it starts with A is the Alif, Be, Pe, the language, and Alpha, Beta, Eta, Theta.
Yeah.
The Greek language.
Yeah, Greek language, Alpha is there, right? Yeah, correct. Very
Namaste,
good.
Guruji. Thank you very much.
Namaste. Thank you all. Thank you very much. See you next week. Hari Om.
Hari Om.